Welcome to the Knitter's Notebook podcast. I'm Hannah. You can find me on Instagram at HaxanEvers and on Ravelry as HaxanKnits. This is going to be a podcast about knitting and crochet, some other things. I learned to knit when I was 9 years old. I've been knitting now for 7 years. I believe. Nope. 8. I can do math. So I want to share some recently finished objects and some whips, is what they are called. I can speak. Actually, I can't. So the first thing I've been really wanted to make hats. Every winter rolls around, and I have no hats or gloves, and I'm a knitter. And that is sad, because knitters should have hats and gloves. So the first hat I made a while ago is this one. This is actually the Garter Rib Bliss hat. It is a pattern I made. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's just this very simple garter rib and with some rapid decreases, and it's very nice and I love it. It's the Garter Rib Bliss hat. You can find it in my Ravelry store at HaxanKnits. The other hat I made is this one, and this is a variation of what it should be, because I tried doing different decreases and I don't like them. I like better these decreases. These are just basically knit two together all the way around multiple times with knit plain rows in between. And this subtle decreasing thing, I don't like. It's not as pretty. So I'm gonna make another one anyway, because I think I made this one too short because of the decreases. This is it's moss stitch, and it's got this easy twist in it. It's really fun to do. It's got this garter cable and slip stitches to make it pretty. So this is a hat I'm actually writing the pattern for. Very nice. I love it. Another recently finished object are these pair of socks. I'm wearing the other one, so I'm going to show you that one. But this is actually the Hurdle socks that is actually in testing right now, and is knit out of Knit Pictorial sock in the Sapphire Heather colorway. Just this really, I love plain vanilla socks, yet they take forever for me because it's just knitting around and around. So I'd like to have a pattern that you can just easily count the rows. So that's what this is, and I don't know if you can see it. Just these rows of garter, and the light went away. Just to add some texture to it. And I knit my socks on a US 2, which is a 2.75mm needle, and I like to knit magic loop. It's got a 1x1 garter rib cuff, and this yarn is very dark, so you can't see it. Actually, the heel is a German short row heel with a mini heel flap adjustment, which is by Mina Philip of Knitting Expert Designs. And the toe is a star toe, or rounded toe. It's called different things, I think. I call it a star toe. It's kind of like a hat decrease. And you can't see that either. Get it closer. Nope. It's too dark. It's a very pretty blue colorway. I like blue. So this is that. Another thing I actually finished this morning, which is actually, it's January 5th, I think, is this hat. It's one with all the hats. It's very similar to the one I'm wearing. The one I'm wearing started out as a pattern I found in Ravelry, got the counts wrong, didn't care, and kept going. They're both knit out of Knit Picks Stitchy, which is 100% cotton. This is the Twilight multi-colorway. This is the purple multi-colorway, I believe. The one I'm wearing is what's it called? Front loop double crochet with these front post double crochets, which make a nice twirl. It's very nice. And this one is just plain double crochet. And because of that, it's because the counts are different or whatever, I don't know. And the increases are different, so it pulled really nicely and I love it. It's got this nice visor, and this one's actually a bit bigger than the one I'm wearing. But I really like it. I'm gonna make more of these. My sister has claimed this one, so I can make more. Because I like having hats now. Because I realized I don't know. I think I knit hats. They just vanish on me, I guess. I don't know. And then also over the past since Christmas, at Christmas I made a bunch of dishcloths and gave them out, and I got more cotton for Christmas, so I made more dishcloths. So these are all made out of the same Knipex Stitchy as the hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dishcloths already. I love cotton. I like making dishcloths. I just have a project bag set aside for it. Just when I don't want to knit anything with a pattern. Make a nice dishcloth. And the people I've given them seem to like having them on hand, so I'm keeping those in this fabric box I sewed, which is not done very nicely. Actually, the box corners are very nice. Didn't know that, but I have this thing where I sew where the lining ends up to be one side, either the lining or the outside. This is reversible, so it could be either to be a bit baggier. So that's why this fabric's on the outside, even though the hem did not go according to plan. I don't know if that made any sense. Whatever. And now for some works in progress I've been working on. So everyone was knitting the Turtle Dove by Spas Tricot, and I wanted to knit the Turtle Dove by Spas Tricot. So I said, I'll knit the Turtle Dove. So turns out when you knit something, you should, even though if you, I can speak, when you knit something by someone else, which I will say I have not done a lot, I'm mostly a self-taught knitter, so, and when I found out about Ravelry and everything, I just thought, well, I don't need their pattern, I'll do it myself, which you can imagine ended badly quite a few times. And now it's gotten to the point where apparently I can't follow a pattern. The pattern says to increase to a certain number of stitches. I think I know better. I don't, because that's not my pattern. So, should suffice summarize to say, the Turtle Dove did not work for me. I knit the whole body of it, and it did not fit, it did not look right, so I ripped it out and said, I'm just going to freeform a cardigan, which is what I did. So there's this cardigan, and it's not done yet. I need to get more yarn for it. It's got this little bit, it won't get me through the row. So I want this to be a very long cardigan, so I need to get more yarn and the sleeves and everything. And it fits well. It's a slip stitch edge with some lumber rib just so it doesn't curl. Well, it does curl, but you know what I mean. It's knit out of, I love this yarn. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. It's 100% acrylic yarn, but it's very soft. And it's, don't remember the colorway, but it's just this very nice brown tweed. It's a worsted weight, so I'm holding it double. So, yes. I'm knitting it on size 11s, US 11, which is a 8mm needle. And then my Knit Picks interchangeable nickel-plated needles, which I love. So there's that. And the other thing I'm working on is in this project bag, which I made myself and many years ago, and it's starting to see. It's fraying everywhere. That's okay. I finished this morning. This is another sock I started, and it's also a dark Knit Picks sock stroll colorway. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's the Duchess Heather colorway. And I did this. I have this thing with ribbing. I don't like ribbing, which I feel bad saying because ribbing helps. It just makes everything better. But I don't like regular 2x2 ribbing. Sometimes I do, but not when I started these. So I did this pretty fake cable rib, which you can't see because there's no light over here. This dark yarn. Oh, there it is. It's fake cable, which is much more fun to do than just regular 2x2 rib in my opinion. I just have this pretty lace design on the front, all the way down, and the back just plain stockinette, which fits my, I want a plain sock, but I want to be able to easily see that I've made progress. Yes. And the same heel as the girdle socks I showed earlier, and toe, because this is what fits my foot. Flapping gusset does not fit my foot. Yes. And I finished that this morning, and just started the cuff of the next one. And here are my needles. It's US size 2, 2.75, and they're ChiaoGoo with their infamous cable, which I love. I love the ChiaoGoos. Just the skein and the tag. Which might show it backwards. It's showing it backwards to me. It might show it backwards to you. I don't know. I'm new at this. That's my sock. And then the other thing I just cast on is I'm starting it's not a sweater, it's more going to be a t-shirt like thing. There's a different word for it. Top. I guess we'll just call it a top. I'm knitting this. It's the collar of it. It's very corally pink. That might actually be the colorway name. The yarn is Loops and Threads, Joy DK. This and colorway. Yes, it is coral. I was right. It's very soft. It's this 100% no-pill acrylic. And it's very soft. I've worked with no-pill acrylic before and don't remember it being this soft. It's very nice. And right now I just did the collar. So it's just twisted rib, 1x1 twisted rib, which I managed to struggle through. And the needles, it's a US 6, which is a 4mm needle, and just my Knit Picks nickel-plated needles. Tell, I like Knit Picks. And then the last thing is my crochet granny stripe blanket. That's what it's called. It's in this project bag. And here it is. It's not very far. I have a bunch of new yarns in it, scraps to put in, and it's not that big either. It's more of a twin. It's not really. It's more of going to be a throw. You can see it's not that big, but it's here. And it's actually a mixture of sock weight, fingering, and DK. Because I originally started a worsted weight mitered square blanket. And then I realized, because I had a lot of worsted weight scraps at the time, and Then I started working more with fingering and DK, and then I had a lot of fingering DK scraps, and so I thought, well, I need to do something with these scraps, so obviously a scrappy blanket's a way to go. But then I would have to start 2 blankets, different weights, DK and fingering. So I didn't want to do that because I'd probably never get them done. So I'm just mixing both weights together. I'm trying to be spread out about it, like when I get to a slightly thicker fingering, then transfer to the DK, and when we get to a thinner DK, I'll transfer back to the fingering, like that. But it's very nice. I really like it. And I'm magic knotting the ends when I finish a collar. But my magic knots aren't that magical. If I pull on them tightly, they do fall apart. Maybe I shouldn't pull on them tightly, but I just get paranoid that they're going to fall apart in the blanket. So I do magic knot them, and then I crochet over the ends when I get to them. So like when I crochet back this way, I'll lift this up and make sure it gets woven under the next cluster of double crochets there, if that makes any sense. So that's that. I do have quite a few more scraps to throw in case you're wondering how much I like blue. It's blue, here's blue, it's kind of silver blue. And the hook I'm using is, I was actually wondering why I put this. A G hook, which is a 4.25 millimeter. It's just a boy crochet hook. So that's it. So all my whips and recently finished objects. Yeah, this wasn't so terrible. I tried several times to do this. I failed miserably. So maybe this will be a regular thing. I don't know. Who does? Not me. So thank you for joining me. Happy knitting!